That's the most I would get at any night down in Miami.
Bam, we're live. Really? That's how much you were sleeping? 4 hours?
Yeah.
Wow. Bill Grunler. Oh, I can't believe I did that right.
You did that right. Look at that.
It's always the opposite. Brian Spin, barbell spin. Already spent a lot of time with Brian virtually. Actually, and more than normal with Bill.
That was cool.
And then last night, totally out of character, because normally Mr. Dave Castro releases these on a Monday. He releases the January 14th, 2024 week in review. Oh, shit. The loss of 2 Navy SEALs overseas, programming the games, and answering comments. All right, so this is going to be a quick one. Oh, good. What are you going to do when the show is over, Bill? In 30 minutes when this shit's over, what are you doing? You going back to teaching?
Yeah, I'm going to go try to work out and
me too.
Programming and then get ready for the classes tonight.
Me too. You already know what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do what I program. For
Brian,
the class.
What are you going to do today after the show's over? What do you hope?
Hopefully get more rest.
Oh, good. Yeah. I was thinking about I'll either sleep or work out. That's a good point. All right. Give this a thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, let the show begin.
Week in review, January 14th, 2024. I just filmed this. Just had 15 minutes doing one, and then I checked the audio, and it was shit. This thing wasn't working. So...
so he's bummed. No one likes to do that shit twice, right?
Oh, dude, it's so bad. He said he did like 15 minutes of it too. That sucks.
Yeah, he's bummed. All right, so expect low energy. He's already bummed. Hi, Austin. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you?
Are we doing 1.5?
No, 1.25.
Well, he's not Pedro, so you could probably do 1.5.
I tried 1.5 last week. It was I couldn't do it.
Really? Oh, okay.
You want to do 1.5? You in a hurry?
Well, I'm not in a hurry.
All right.
I'm good.
All right. Bill's good. Yeah, failed to prepare. Prepare to fail. I don't know if that's appropriate. Yeah, episode 4, holy shit, was so good. Yeah. Telling you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I humbly share with you I'm the greatest ever who did the behind the scenes.
Humbly.
Huh? Humbly. Thank you, though. I do appreciate you saying that. Jess Pearson, RN. Hope if I ever need a decatheter, you're in the ER taking care of me. Always like a CrossFitter. Doing the tough shit to me. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have a mole looked at tomorrow. You guys ever had a mole looked at by a doctor?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like I'm going
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting an STD check or something. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not on my dick; it's on my back. But you know what I mean? It's the same kind of like it's like I got AIDS tested once, and I was a virgin, but I still thought I might have AIDS. You know what I mean? I'm just weird like that. Like I don't want to do it.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're a virgin. You got an AIDS test.
Yeah.
Is it the drug use? Is that what it was?
No, it was just I was born in 72, and just like that's just shit. The 80s and 90s were scary. I don't know. I just got an AIDS test.
Yeah, it was scary if you weren't a virgin and you were doing drugs.
Let me tell you. Hey, dude, when
I was in the same 80s too, man. Come on now.
Hey, dude, when I was 10, I found a condom in my dad's room, and one day I put it on in the morning when I woke up just in case I was gonna have sex. I tried to keep it on all day. I mean, every time I went to the bathroom, it was just curled up in a ball in the bottom of my underwear, but then I'd try to put it back on. Weird.
Obviously, you didn't get the sex ed class at that point.
I'm over prepared. I'm nervous. What did they say about your mole?
I just asked if it was, cancerous, and they're like, "Oh, let's look at the outsides of it and see what it looks like." And if they're worried, then they'd cut it and they'd do a biopsy on it.
Did
Otherwise,
they do that?
The doctor would be like, "No, that's fine."
Quit being a pussy.
Kinda.
I would love it if my doctor said that to me. Seriously, that would make me feel so much better than be like, "Don't worry, let's just keep a close eye on it." I would so much rather hear, "God, you're a pussy."
I mean, it would be cool, but it would be a doctor that you would have to know. You know what I mean? They're not going to do that.
Austin Hartman, my girlfriend is an ER nurse. She put a condom catheter on me a while ago. Terrible experience. I think I'd prefer a straight catheter. Condom catheter.
Ew.
God, I'd love to hear the details of that. Why? Whoa. Damn. You ever had a catheter, either of you?
No, thank God.
Fuck, I've had one of those too.
For what?
When I was 7. I was in an accident.
Is it because you were worried that maybe you were gonna have bad pee or something? So you had to stick it in there and
No,
check?
I was in this bike accident when I was a little kid, and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And I woke up. They kept me in a coma for 3 days, and I woke up, and dude, it was horrible, dude. It was.
Okay.
You have to let the pee out so slow, or it hurts.
A bike accident,
Yeah, bicycle.
a coma for 3 days.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You ever seen my scar? You ever seen my? Is it on this side or the other side?
I don't think so. Oh, maybe
had a-
there. Yeah.
I had to have the horseshoe. You know where they fucking cut a horseshoe in the side of your skull and open it up to let the pressure off your fucking big old Armenian brain?
Damn, that's a cool story. So, well, shit, let that shit out.
No, I prefer to talk about penis stories.
Okay.
Okay. It's downstream. My penis was affected because I crashed on my bike.
Right. That's what I was trying to figure out. Trying to connect the dots. I was having a hard time doing that.
I almost died because I hit my head on the concrete in a bicycle accident. And but I'm just concerned about my penis. The trauma happened to my penis.
Right, that's important stuff. I get it.
Why not just put a diaper on me? Why a catheter? Seriously.
Maybe they had to see if you were pissing blood or something. They couldn't check it through a diaper. Now they got it all in a bag.
Look at you. You think you're a captive of a fire department, and now you got all the answers.
I just pretend like I do.
Okay, so what did they say? Did you have cancer? Did they have to lance your shit?
No. I mean, I've had one that they did take off and ended up being benign. It was nothing.
Were you scared when they called you? They're like, Bill Grunler? You're like, yeah. You're like, this is Dr. Watson. You're like, okay. We have your mole here. Uh-huh. And there's some things I have to share with you about it. Go on.
That's the most extended whatever conversation. I mean, yeah, I'd probably be a little nervous if they say, yeah, it's positive for cancer. I'd be like, okay, now what?
Why aren't you chiming in, Spin? Look at your white ass. You got to have some moles and shit and some skin scare.
Nothing so far.
Fucking white.
Either that or I'm ignoring it. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
You were just in Miami. You got
ignorance is bliss sometimes.
You got some sunburns there.
Not with all that rain, you couldn't get a sunburn.
Yeah, it was only sunny one day.
You didn't see the sun
this week.
All right.
Felt bad for those guys with all that rain. Jeez.
Okay, so Dave's pissed because this is the second time he has to record it. Okay, here we go.
I'm refilming it now. It's Sunday. I am doing this today because tonight I'm leaving town and won't be around. So instead of skipping it, which I've done in the past because I'm out of town on a Monday, I'm going to try a new routine where I film them on Sundays if I have the time because I'm leaving town. Hey, Dave, random but important question for you. I know that CrossFit is involved with the Army, but there are plans to involve the Navy. I'm currently a flight student in the Navy, and physical fitness is not taken seriously. But I feel that if CrossFit was implemented, it would benefit the entire military. I've been a CrossFitter for 10 years, and it's been a key element in my life, both mentally and physically. We're in talks with a handful of senior leaders in the Navy. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but would love to expose it to the Navy. Obviously, any other branch that's interested. We're currently working with the Army. And even when we say we're working with the Army, we're working specifically with 18th Airborne Corps, which they're a large cohort of the Army, but it's not the entire Army we're working with. We'd love to get to a place where we are working with the entire Army and other branches too. But sometimes if there is not an internal ambassador or someone who really wants the program to happen, it's hard to pitch and penetrate places that don't have CrossFit or don't have an interest in CrossFit. Where I've seen success or where I see that we've gone in the past in terms of military organizations or even other types of organizations, again, there's always been this concept of an internal ambassador. So if you have any ideas on how to get more involved with any of the branches, or if you're a senior leader at any of these branches who can make a difference and want to bring us in or not make a difference, but can make an impact on getting us involved, reach out to me. And I'd love to talk to you about what we're doing and how we can help. Related to that question.
Senior leader right there. It's key.
All politics.
And we have I've done that so much with fire when all the years that I was in fire, trying to push it. And if the people above you aren't into it, then it just dies where you are. So I literally had to, the only way I could really push it was from my station, because at least I could control that. And so me and my guys were doing it out of my station house. But then even trying to do any sort of a physical fitness, honestly, when you get into a big system, whether it's public safety or military, it ends up being more of a CYA rather than you need to be a badass. Like you're a trained professional athlete to do physical things, and that's the part that gets really hard. I mean, even the stuff that Sousa's working with, a couple of fire departments, and I've worked with a couple of fire departments, but the only way that happens is when either one of the chiefs is into it. And so you have a high ranking officer that's like, hey, okay, I'm into it. I need to bring someone else in to train anybody, teach everybody, do the seminars, keep everyone on track, whatever. Or you have some really good connection, like with you're really good friends with that officer. That's the only way that it works. Otherwise, they just downplay it, and it is terrible. It is an uphill stream all the time.
Life never changes after high school. It's just a popularity contest. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get out of high school. It's not a popularity contest anymore. No, nobody changes. It's all who you know.
Yeah, 100%.
It's talking about
the general that's brought it into the Army. Dave served in Delta Force with him,
which that would make sense. I mean, it's
like they were close.
And even the high ranking, if they don't do it, that's fine, but they have to buy off on it.
Right.
They have to they got to understand the benefits of it, other than, well, we already do something.
And there's morons. There was morons in the military who say CrossFit's dangerous. A lot of morons.
There are, but I know that they just switched it, and I don't know if if Austin put that up there, but I think that they just changed their entry level test stuff for a lot of the militaries, going from the classic, how many push-ups can you do in 2 minutes, and how many sit-ups, and what's your wall sit, that kind of crap, to a little bit more of a dynamic movement based. I think they actually have one where there's some deadlifts in there, that type of thing, where it's a little, I don't remember what it is, but it's a little bit more realistic rather than what it was. And I mean, they're getting there, but it's like, even with that, to me, you change your whole thing. They don't want to say it's CrossFit. They don't want to say that this is the type of stuff that we're doing. They're pretending, and so they dance around it, and it's just dumb that they'd have to do that.
I don't know who this is. Dale Dobeck said it best. It's all about who you know. Okay, Dale. I agree with Dale.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to get into the military is to work at the grassroots. So work with the lower level military. Eventually, they will be higher ups, right? So trying to convince
long game.
And
right.
That's what it's, very long game.
Yeah,
which isn't bad, but again, the bigger the machine, the more cogs there are in the machine to deal with. So you could, I mean, we're stoked because CrossFit's working with the Army, but it's like Dave said, they aren't working with the Army. They're working with one cohort in the Army, one battalion, and that, to me, that's shitty that they bought off on it, cool, but they haven't spread it through. And I did the same type of thing. I was like, okay, well, I'll have all my guys doing CrossFit when I was there, 10 years ago now. And those guys are now captains and chiefs, and they do it, but even it gets stuck there at their station. It doesn't go up higher than that. And
when the dude quits, the new dude's
that's
not
it.
Continue. Yep, that's it.
Yep,
you're done.
That's it.
Someone else asked, what is a private seminar? Actually, a handful of people asked, what is a private seminar? And last week, we were in San Diego on a Navy base doing a private seminar for Naval Special Warfare personnel. There were some SEALs there and non-SEALs. And what it is units reach out to us and say, hey, we want to host a private level 1 for our crew. We do a number of private level 1s. We did one for the Army recently, unrelated to the 18th Airborne Corps. We've done a handful. We did a handful in 2023 for different units. We do them internationally too. We used to do a ton of them. We haven't over the last several years done as many, but it's basically reaching out. And this is unrelated to the one-day stuff we're doing with the 18th Airborne Corps. You basically reach out and say, we'd like to host a level 1 course on our base, and then we send trainers out to you and conduct it. While there, so I was in San Diego for a couple of days, went to the course because of my background.
So that's what he was doing last week.
Saw some old teammates and friends.
Last week they taught a level 1 at in Coronado. It sounds like at Bud's.
Which is cool.
Yeah,
which is totally cool.
So that means they do have some inroads into the Navy.
Well, he said that they will have if a group wants him to come in and do and that's what he's talking about, the private level 1. It's like, okay, if your group wants us to come in, we'll come in and do it. That's cool. I didn't know that they did a lot of them before. He said they used to do a lot of them.
Oh, dude, yeah. Back in the day, they did. I felt like Greg was always doing those, flying somewhere and doing them. Always.
Oh
yeah. A long time ago.
They have a lot of new buildings and a lot of new, fundamentally a base for the teams out there. So that was a really good trip. I'm actually heading back tomorrow to do some training with some guys, unrelated to this, more just personal stuff and some of my shooting things that I like to do. And related, well, not related, but also of similar nature. So yesterday I found out that someone hit me up and said, hey, check this story out. And it was a story saying a couple of sailors were missing off the coast of Somalia. And then find out today, now it's hitting more mainstream press. It's not just a couple sailors, it's a couple SEALs. And it sounds like they were on a mission and something happened and they fell off the ship. They're in the water, missing, and haven't been found for a few days. So sounds like we lost a couple guys. Tragic day. You hate hearing that shit. It just it hits close to home, especially with what I did for so long as a SEAL for 12 years. Obviously, I don't talk a lot about that.
Yeah, you don't. That was crazy that he just said that. You don't hear him say that very often. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but when you see stuff like this, it's makes you think about your time in. It makes me think about my time in, and I've done training like that. I never did any real world missions, any real world shipboarding missions, but did a lot of training. I actually broke my leg doing that training at one point, and just makes you think about even the combat that I did eventually see and the things I did. How lucky I am to even still be here after all that time, because I think I've said this before. Glassman saved my life, and what I mean when I say that is he gave me the opportunity to do something significant and profound in the world with CrossFit and step away from the thing I love doing, which was the military and being a SEAL. So at the 12-year mark, I was able to completely get out and work full time for CrossFit. If it wasn't for CrossFit, I would have done 20 years. And in that's 8 more years of doing the things we did. And why I say he saved my life is who knows what would have happened in those 8 years. Through that time period, I saw a lot of other guys that I know not make it back from combat. So when things like this just happen, it just makes you think about all of that stuff and how dangerous that job is. Obviously, it goes without saying how dangerous any military service is. And it makes you think about, makes me proud of what I did, and also think how proud I am of those who are still serving our country and still doing those tough jobs, or frankly, any job in the military. So keep sad day. I'll be with a bunch of SEALs for the next couple of days, so I'll find out more about it. Won't talk about it more than this. But and I know that it's going to be annoying. There's going to be a bunch of fucking people talking about a bunch of guys. I hope people don't publicly, at least on the Instagram sphere, talk about the tactics or talk about the missions, but they will, or try to break it down, because I think that's, and this is why I don't talk about this stuff. I think that stuff, there's a realm and a place for it, and it's not in the public domain. The special operations side of it, the tactics, the missions, the details, how you do it, and all of that. At Cedric.
Okay, so he's going back down to San Diego. He is in San Diego, it sounds like now. That's why he released this yesterday. He was down last week for some SEAL shit, but now he's going back down again to do some other SEAL shit that has to do with his shooting. And I would say for Dave, he's shaken. Like we just saw Shaken Dave. He's bummed. Yeah. Some homies.
I don't think that anybody likes to hear that stuff. I mean, what's weird is and not that I was running around with guns or anything, but like even with my experience in fire, like you're doing your thing and you're just kind of in it. And even like with him being in the military, like you're just in it and you don't think about all of the things that could happen until you're out, until one of these things kind of hit you in the gut a little bit, where you're like, oh. So I really liked his comment about how he says that like Greg saved his life, because otherwise he would have been in for another 8 years. And he's exactly right. Like anything can happen in those 8 years. It could be an accident. It could be a mission. It could be a whatever. And that could have been it, and that's the way that these guys, and girls, when they're in the military, that's the role that they play. You don't know. You might not be coming back that day. It's just kind of how it runs. Officers, fire, same thing.
Go ahead, Spin.
Bill, when something like that happens, and it's similar to something that maybe was a close call for you, like but you came out on the good side. But like these two,
Didn't.
lost their life. Like, does it remind you like how close you could have been to not where you are now?
Yeah, you can't do the job if you're worried about like all the worst things happening. So you kind of block it out. But when it's these types of things that happen, you know that like you're literally on the line. So are you just barely on this side of the line, or are you barely on that side of the line?
Were you a
Barely on that side of
firefighter?
the line, you're not coming
9/11,
home.
Bill? Were you?
What's that?
Were you a firefighter 9/11?
Yeah,
Wow. So that fucking rocked you.
totally. And I mean, and that's what everybody, anything big like that. That's what people think about. It's like, okay, well, what I have done, how would it have been? And that's the whole deal. You watch, and regardless of whatever the political part of that whole thing is, you watch the video footage of those guys having to go up into the towers. They're just doing what they do, and that's the same thing that these guys do. They do what they do, and the hope is you come back. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. And when you don't, you come back. You're like, fuck. Well, I mean, I was walking that edge. I didn't even really think about it, because you get so used to not thinking about it, because you can't.
He said, I have actually seen some footage of Dave doing some boat training, and basically, and I know what he's talking about. He's talking about basically, it sounds like these SEALs who died were basically pulling up in a boat next to another big boat. Think oil tanker. That's how I'm imagining. And they were going to board the boat for some mission, kill somebody, take the boat. They were doing something. And although Dave says here he had never done that, don't anyone get it twisted. The guy went on shit tons of missions. I remember when he worked at CrossFit, every night when I'd be chatting with him and we'd be doing work stuff, he'd be like, okay, I'm going on a job. He never told me what they were or anything. But then as the years went by that I knew Dave, I met other SEALs and Delta Force guys that were deployed with him. And even as recent as this last games I was at, there was a Delta Force guy there who's still in, and he whispered in my ear. I can't even tell you exactly what he whispered in my ear, but Dave was a busy man. Like, he did a shitload of nightly stuff for sounds like on and off for years. Like, 60 days in a row of nightly activities, going out in helicopters and dropping into people's villages. So,
what's crazy is like everyone
crazy shit, I think. And I that's the most disturbed I've ever seen him, by the way. He looks really moved right there. For me.
I agree too. What's crazy is that, he always gets like labeled. He's like, oh, he's such a douchebag. He's a this, he's a that. And it's like, dude, you have to understand what the dude has been through.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like with cops. Like, why are all cops assholes? Well, I mean, in all reality, they kind of have to be.
90% of the interactions in the morning before they saw you at the fucking dentist office were with scumbags.
Right, totally.
With a fucking box cutter in their pocket, getting ready to slit their throat, or some drunk lady.
Yeah,
that's
true.
They get trained to deal with the people that they hang out with.
Dave, thoughts on bringing back the team series? Absolutely. We're definitely thinking about bringing back the team series. It was a great event. It maybe not even the same way, but conceptually online team competition in the off season. I'd love to do something like that because it was fun. It was cool. People enjoyed it. It was growing before we stopped doing it. And so definitely considering. Nick.
I don't even remember what the team series was. What was that?
Is he talking like the invitational?
No, it was like around September timeframe, October, where they had teams of 4, 2 men, 2 women.
Was there a location that we did it? I barely remember.
That was the online thing, wasn't it?
It was online. Like Rogue Fitness sponsored a couple teams.
Over
1 or 2 weekends, you have to go and do a handful of workouts.
There's no live final event.
No, it's like an online version of Wodapalooza for the teams.
All right.
I don't think it was, at least from what I saw, it wasn't as popular as what Dave was saying.
Same. I mean, unless he was talking invitational, which I think the invitational team series would be awesome and have that competition. I also think that one of the things I didn't think I mentioned about the team thing that we were talking about, me and Chase, was, what's up, Joe? What's up, man? Was having the top 3 teams at the games that were on the podium, that they get to compete at the team invitational. And so you have your North American team, your Canadian team, your whatever team, and then you have those the 3 podium teams. Then they get to compete against them. That'd be badass.
That would be badass,
right?
Podium teams.
It would just embarrass the teams.
The podium teams.
Yeah.
I think
but it'd still be fun.
All right, here we go.
Alt Gilbert 612. Okay, folks, I'm here to reignite the idea of Castro versus Bridges boxing match. We all know Josh Bridges was dodging the fight. What do you think, Dave? Could you still beat him? So I've definitely aged significantly since then. I feel like I'm slowing down. Do I think I can beat Josh? Technically, for sure. Physically, at this point, he's way stronger. He's got way more endurance. He's way fitter than I am. So it'd be tough. I mean, he's like over a decade, maybe even 15 years younger than I am. So that imbalance would put me at a disadvantage. Although Jacob Hepner, who could barely string together a 1-2 punch or any sort of combinations, was able to beat Josh Bridges. So that gives me some hope. But no, I'm not going to step into a ring with him. I'm too old for that shit. At Thomas...
It'd be so fun to watch. So
How about just get them drunk and see what happens?
Do you think they'd fight if they were drunk?
I don't know, but how about just get a bunch of these dudes together and get them drinking, and if a fight breaks out, we win. If not, and we just charge money. But you're not even sure if a fight's going to break out.
So part of the bet is just if they fight.
Sure, yeah. Julia, how the fuck old is Dave? He's young. I'm 51.
Mid-40s.
He's younger than me, but not much younger.
Yeah, I think he's in mid-40s.
Yeah.
And Bridges is
I think
41,
I think he just
something?
turned 40, didn't he?
Bridges?
What year did Dave
Yeah.
cornrows his hair? Because he said he'll never do that when he's 40, so he must have been 39 or he turned 40 or something that year.
Was that 15? 16? Somewhere around there.
Dave was born in 77.
46?
Look at this person. What's his social security number? All right, here we
Am
go.
I frozen again? Am I?
Yeah, you've been frozen.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell
What
you.
the fuck? Tell me.
wow.
I'll leave and come right back.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. We'll wait for you. Go ahead. We won't do anything. Rosie. Rosie. John Young. Hello. Cornrows. 2015. Dude, you guys don't tell fucking Bill he's frozen. Okay? Do not listen, Christopher. Do not tell. Oh, is Christopher in the military? Listen, do not tell Bill he's frozen. We don't need him coming and going. Just let him be frozen. Hi, Bill.
Fuck up. I heard that, bitch. Thanks, Chris.
No, Chris. Bad Chris. Okay, here we go.
E9348. Will you do a live announcement for the Open? They are awesome. I've said this in other locations, or maybe even on this. Definitely considering. Likely. Haven't committed yet, but very likely. And thank you.
He needs to do all the Open announcements. It's his first year back. Quit being fucking fake humble, fake whatever. Just do them all. Just do them all. Like, come on.
It's only 3 weeks.
Yeah, just do it, dude. Just do it for us. Like, what do you... I don't want to see anyone else do it. Bill disagrees. What do you think, Bill?
No,
let's have someone from the adaptive division and the ages division champion. I'm Bill Brunner, and
Why?
I'm inclusive.
First
I'm
of
going-
all,
Okay, go
why would you use that voice on me? Second of all, when have I ever?
Sorry, do I have a God voice? Let
When
me
have
see
I
if
ever
have
jumped
one.
on that side of the fence? No, all Dave. Shouldn't
Okay, I read
be
you
anybody
wrong.
else
I read you
at
wrong.
all.
Okay. Let me see if I. Yeah, it's be cool if I knew how to use this Roadcaster. I could have done a God.
What was your favorite antic that he did at the Open?
I like all of them. I just like watching him. I like people making fun of him and like thinking like he gives a fuck. They're like, this is so stupid. He's so dramatic. His writing sucks. That's the part I like. I just like all the people just tearing into him.
What about you, Brian?
My favorite was just the whiteboard and how he would write it in a different order than you expected. Right?
Start
It just
with
kept
the
you
third
hanging.
movement first.
But I agree with Sevan. Like, if we're talking about it, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Right?
just
I
If
agree.
we only talk
just
about
be a
it for
douche.
an hour
Yeah.
on the announcement show, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we want that continuing on and the build up to it of what he's going to do.
What was he thinking? What's his hair doing? What the fuck is that suit? Who made that
Dude,
for
he
him? Jesus
practiced
Christ.
all of that shit too.
Oh yeah.
We'd be there getting ready for the broadcast, and he'd be going all the hand gestures. Like when he did the time isn't going to save you, and he'd take his watch off and he'd throw his watch. Like he
Yeah.
would try. He He would do that time after time after time, and he
He
wouldn't
had
say
20 watches. He even had to pick which watch to use. Yes.
totally his fingers and movement, all that. It's so funny. It was awesome.
Dan Guerrero, Sevan getting checked by Jack Sevan.
Well, it should be the frozen Sevan is what it should be.
Frozen Sevan was fucking up unfrozen Sevan.
For saying they are awesome. At West Bowman 5, are you programming the games this year? So I'm not programming them like I have in the past. In the past, when I programmed them, I did it completely alone. I was obsessed with it from top to bottom. This year, Boz and our team, the programming team, they're leading the effort on it, but I will be heavily involved. I'll be giving feedback. I'll be giving input. I'll even maybe have a few workouts that I program, and I'll be steering it, directionally steering it, and it'll be a collaborative effort between all of us. So, but it's not like it used to be, and nor should it be at this point. I have a lot of other responsibilities with CrossFit, and so staying higher level and out of that to the degree that like it would consume me for months on end. So I'm heavily involved, but I would not say specifically I am programming, but I will be heavily involved.
Jesus. Grunler, look at this.
Yeah, I put no effing way in the comments.
Oh. I appreciate it. If someone's got to attack Grunler, whenever Grunler's on, I always get beat up as the old, ugly, weak version of him.
At Fondal, so this is someone who's calling themselves at Fondal, Fondaul.
Oh.
Dave, longtime viewer.
Oh, he doesn't get it either. It took me 5 months to figure it out. That's awesome. He didn't got it.
Time commenter on the week in review. What is it? Yep, I answered that. And what does an affiliate need to get to have Dave Castro on site? Well, if you're local, if you're in the area, it's not too hard. If you happen to be somewhere where I'm traveling, I drop into a lot of affiliates. So maybe I happen to be somewhere else for work and I'll stop in. But I really don't like traveling, so I typically don't travel just for the sake of traveling. It's one of the reasons why I'm not at Wodapalooza. Someone was asking me yesterday at an event why I wasn't there. And my idea of a good time isn't vacationing to CrossFit workouts, but when I want to do something with my weekends or personal time, I'm not going to CrossFit events like that. I will go to local throwdowns and local affiliate things, but not a major competition like that.
Yeah, that's he's doing himself. He's not telling the truth there.
Also,
A little bit. Because like if you invited him to your gym for your 10th year anniversary and he was in town, he would drive 3 hours to your gym bill. If he called me, a couple months ago, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to Sacramento to visit who are the guys? Blair Morrison and who's the other cat? Ben Alderman. He's like, "Hey, let's go up there and say hi to them." He goes on his free time and does lots of CrossFit shit, tons. But just Wodapalooza is too far. That's
relatively new though. I mean, he never went. The only CrossFit competitions he would go to were the regionals, and he would do the open things, and he would do the games. He never went to any other competition ever. He would go to gyms.
How about OC Throwdown? Didn't he poke his head? No, I guess that's no.
I don't think he did. I think the first one I saw him go to was the Central Valley Throwdown in Reedley, California. That was the first one.
Matt Souza, I invited him to my 10-year. He must have forgot to drive to the gym, to my gym. Spencer Davis, Sevan, you look like Grunler and Fikowski Lovechild.
Oh.
All right. I'll take it.
Okay.
Speaking of CrossFit's presence at Wodapalooza, Tier Wodapalooza.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Tier
sorry.
Wodapalooza.
There was Jada Coons. So he was there. Austin was there. And then a few of the media team was there as well. But not much of a presence as usual. But they were there. Their booth was kind of tucked away in the corner. There were a decent amount of people there most of the time, but it definitely wasn't front and center like it was last year.
Why does the media team go there?
To post like 2 or 3 clips.
They do post stuff.
That woman that was interviewing or the games athletes at check-in and did like the superhero questions. She made a meme there.
Wow.
Oh, Nelly. Where would I go? CrossFit Games?
The CrossFit Games Instagram. And I have a little bit of a more to the story of it after you watch it.
Okay. So I'm going to sorry, Dave. We'll take a break from you and we'll go over to the CrossFit Games Instagram. The fun starts here? No. This kid competing?
No, the second row on the right, that woman there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not a good picture. Someone doesn't like her.
That's the woman that made the post.
Oh, well, that was a bad freeze frame. Okay, sorry, hold on. Oh, I think she used to do stuff occasionally when back in the day, like way back in the day. Okay, here we go. What's her name?
Curry? I can't remember her first name.
Okay, here we go.
Of course, I've been working on muscle ups before the open.
We're CrossFit athletes. Of course, I listen to my coach when he tells me to modify.
We're CrossFit athletes. Of course, if someone does better than me in the open, I'm gonna redo it.
We're CrossFit athletes.
We're CrossFit athletes. Of course, I've been working on muscle
That's
ups
it.
before the open.
This has nothing to do with Tier Wodapalooza.
No.
Nope.
But there was somebody that was supposed to be in that meme that was cut out.
Who?
Colton Mertens.
No shit.
They
Really?
recorded him. So Roderick is the meme for time guy. You know, he was hanging out with us. He was actually in our Airbnb. And so we were spending a lot of time together, and Roderick got a hold of CrossFit. They made that meme, had Colton have a line, and it got edited out.
Wow.
Do you know what the line was?
I can't remember. Oh, it was about chalk, using chalk somehow.
Hey, isn't it funny? He would be the most famous and well received, and they cut him out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's because of who he's aligned with?
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about that. But hey, so this is the only athlete. Is this from Wodapalooza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even have Wodapalooza tagged in this, dude. This is from this year's Wodapalooza?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Am I tripping, or is that completely inappropriate not to tag Wodapalooza? And why would it be the only guy? And someone who's like not even like
Imagine spending, I don't know how many people in the media team is, at least 2, I think more.
I heard 6.
To go down there and you post a meme in this photo.
Jonathan Ortega.
Hey, this is totally This is totally self-serving here, by the way.
We're CrossFit
This
athletes.
is nothing.
Of
This is
course, I've been
nothing.
working on
This
muscle
is about whoever those 2 people are, this guy and that girl, or this girl and that guy. This is totally self-serving. This is like, just like, look, I work at CrossFit. Yeah, this is nothing. That's too bad, man. That's so too bad. Oh, what's this? Here we go. The James Spriggs, this is Wodapalooza. No fucking tag at Wodapalooza again.
If you click on that little icon down at the bottom left of the picture, is it tagged? No.
Holy shit, dude.
That's terrible.
There are multiple reasons I walk in the gym after missing 2020 CrossFit Games by 1.3.
And not even in the caption. Nothing.
Wow. Oh my God. What the fuck is going on, dude?
That's where
What
there
the
isn't
fuck is going on?
That right there is the lack of support. Like, don't even be there. Like, I don't want to see Jay DeCoons just cruising around. Like, I want, if CrossFit is going to show up in an event, whether it's a licensed event or not, they're there because they know a shit ton of people are going to be there. Then the goal would be to support our community, which is that.
They took pictures from Wodapalooza. This is one too. And they didn't give Wodapalooza credit. They didn't give Tier Wodapalooza credit. This is fascinating.
No, it's fucked up.
This is fascinating. Hey, by the way, so this is, just so you know, so this is why the team of outside media is so much stronger than the internal team. This is why we've just completely taken over, because we never do this to each other. We do not. All of the people on the external team, all the external media, trips over itself to give everyone else credit and to help other people.
Yeah,
we trip over each other to help each other.
Yeah,
fucking insane. Hey, dude, you're not fooling anybody by doing this. That's so sad. Hey, that's for anyone who wants to say any. Here's another one, by the way, from Wodapalooza. For anyone who ever wants to say any dumb shit, like anybody who wants to say dumb negative shit about Andrew Hiller, listen. If you work at CrossFit HQ, you have anything negative to ever say about CrossFit HQ, you've done more dumb shit here than he's done in his fucking 2 or 3 years. This is fucking maddening. 5 photos from Wodapalooza, not one fucking recognition of the Tier Wodapalooza crew. Thank you, Wodapalooza, for being a valuable part of the fucking fitness community, CrossFit family.
Right.
Our lawyers wouldn't let us. Fuck, dude. We stomp on your dick every day because of that. Hey, you guys just, you only are hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself. Fucking A. Well, thanks, Spin. We were on a roll here. Thanks for bringing us back to reality. Is that tag that big of a deal? Yeah, it's huge, dude. Listen, this is the... Go ahead, Spin. Go ahead.
Everybody is looking at Wodapalooza, right? And so even just using a hashtag Wodapalooza, if somebody else liked my post that had a hashtag Wodapalooza, it shows up in your insights, right? Like by you liking stuff that's Wodapalooza, that CrossFit shows up in your feed. So you have to play that game. You have to be in. People aren't always searching out CrossFit, but how do you get others to see it, right? In all my posts, I had significant traction on those who don't follow me.
It doesn't matter if anyone else does it. CrossFit has to do it. So here's the thing. Don says he wants to lead and change the culture of CrossFit. You can't if the media is not tagging people. Everything in your character is contagious. This is the exact opposite of the culture that's taught in the level 1. This is the exact opposite. CrossFit should be cheering on and commending Wodapalooza endlessly, just like you do the people in your gym. Character is contagious. If I smoke cigarettes, you know what? It's contagious. If I'm fat, you know what? It's contagious. If I'm fit, it's fucking contagious. This kind of behavior, and I'm glad you asked, Matt Burns, because it's good to explain because some people might get it. This is all contagious. This is what can I get from it? These are all what can I get from it? Not what can I do to build up Wodapalooza so that they too can succeed. This isn't the rising tides float all ships. This is the exact opposite of it. Yeah, this is really embarrassing. They are supposed to be setting the tempo of the culture and the character of how everyone acts, not just the athletes, the coaches, the media, the affiliates, the gym, everyone. And they failed. This is a monstrous failure. And hey, and don't think that like Dylan and those guys won't end up seeing this either. Like everyone's going to see this. Yeah, it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I'm embarrassed for them, to be honest. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Wilfred's comment there about would the tag be Wodapalooza or Tier Wodapalooza? Look, Wodapalooza.
Anything, dude.
Without tier, Wodapalooza is not there. So I know there's been a lot of jokes about tier, but they're dropping hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million+ to help that thing be there. Like if it's not, if they didn't have tier, there may not be a Wodapalooza. They'd have to find somebody else. So like it's important. And we can joke about, well, you have to say tier Wodapalooza, but again, without them, they need to have some type of.
And Dylan's putting on a semifinal for them. And they're having Loud and Live put on a semifinal for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, dude, I sell shirts and Grundler sells shirts. I'm not worried about him, someone buying his shirts and not buying my shirts. That's not the way we're working. No one's not going to the games because they spent all their money at Wodapalooza. It's not like that. Yeah, Omar Canejo, HQ will look at it as a nothing burger. Yeah.
It's just sad. It's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Back to the Castro.
At Bobby Sandes. Hi, Dave. What is the benefit of handstand push-ups in real life? A handstand push-up is incredibly developmental for obviously being inverted, but for balance, for just total kinesthetic awareness, and just the transfer from being inverted, I wouldn't say is going to make you specifically better at certain things in life, but is going to make your fitness journey and your overall strength and fitness, or your overall potential, your overall ability, much better from spending time in the inverted position. Not everything we do has a straight 1-for-1 transfer to things in life, but a lot of those things do have a transfer to making other things that are relevant in life much better. For example, in CrossFit, with a lot of people I've trained or seen or been involved with over almost 2 decades, you hardly ever see someone who just spends a lot of time doing presses and strict press, who also is very good at being inverted or handstand pressing or handstand walking. But almost always when you see someone who spends a lot of time inverted and does a lot of handstand presses, handstand push-ups, handstand walk, they also have a really good overhead press. So I feel like it translates in that regard one direction, but in the other regard, not from just not inverting over. So again, really good skills to develop, kicking up, getting upside down, spending time in that position translates to other things we do and just helps with the overall fitness and overall complete package that is ultimately what CrossFit is about. The Open is here, so if you haven't.
I have baseball kids that I coach. I have an 11 and under group, and I have a 12 to 14-year-old group. And both of those groups, I have them do cartwheels and handstand walking. Not that they can do it very well at all, but just because the point of getting them better, like I don't make them better baseball players. I make them more fit and more athletic. And so I see that handstand walking as an athletic skill. Just kind of like the muscle up as an athletic skill. I mean, is that really going to trend me? I could find places where it would, but how many times am I going to have to do 30 get up out of the pools, or climb up over a fence 30 times or whatever? It's a technique that I think is good for athleticism. I think that is it's the same idea as doing a shoulder to overhead press with a tight midline stability, because now you're pushing your body weight instead of just pushing whatever weight up overhead. So does it have to be done all the time? I don't think it does. But is it important to do? Absolutely, because we should be good at everything, or have a level of skill, appropriate skill at everything we touch. So I think it's important that way.
What do you think about what Clock said? Its primary benefit is shoulder stability. I don't think it's its primary, but what do you think about just shoulder stability?
I mean, there is shoulder stability to it for sure, but it's shoulder strength. I mean, think about if you're doing your body weight, like what would you equate? When was the last time you did a handstand push-up?
2 to 3 days ago.
Okay. How heavy are you?
165.
165. Okay. How many of those handstand push-ups did you do?
7.
Okay. So if you look at that, and you turn yourself the other way around, you're looking at doing like a push press at probably close to the same weight. And it's the same type of idea, but there is a different stimulus when you go upside down. It's just as far as, I wouldn't say a muscle stimulus necessarily, but
well, I can't do 135 for 7.
Really? A push press?
No.
Okay.
Oh, push. Oh yeah, push press. Sorry.
Well,
push
because
press.
you got to figure the range of motion isn't as far either. From like the top of your head.
Right. Okay, so, you're right. I'm not sure if I could. You're right. Definitely not press. Okay, sorry. I was thinking press. You're right.
But I think that anything athletic is in the realm of usable. Again, like I think that when you're programming for general GPP stuff, you've got to prioritize from the types of movements that you do most of the time, and then scroll down and throw in these other things you're going to do occasionally. Like I'm going to do way more pressing than I'm going to do handstand push-upping, just for our class.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have it in there.
Yeah,
for sure. Because again, not everyone can do handstand push-ups. So maybe it ends up being, a piked handstand push-up off a box, or maybe it's a hand release push-up, or maybe it's a weighted push-up, or depending. So.
Sevan making it up now. Making it up your mama's butt. Okay, here we go.
Signed up already? Sign up. I'm really excited. It's going to be a great event. Great 3 weeks. We have some cool things in store for the actual announcements and also specifically for the workouts. So don't forget to dive in. It's going to be a great year. yesterday I went to CrossFit Brethren's 15-year anniversary party. While there, Lee Pappas owns CrossFit Brethren. While there, someone also mentioned that I was there with Greg and Sevan for their 10-year. So pretty cool. Went there for their 10-year. Went there yesterday for the 15, and hopefully in 5 years I'll go for their 20. And finally, the French Throwdown and NorCal Classic. I think they have their qualifiers going on right now.
Do you know who that is? Lee Pappas, CrossFit Brethren? You do?
Yeah.
We're doing a little engagement with them where we're partnering with them and calling them a CrossFit community event. So it's an experiment. It's a way of working with events that we haven't done before like this. So we're excited about that. They have online qualifiers going on right now prior to the Open. So if you want to try to qualify.
Who does? Who's he talking about?
NCC.
NorCal.
Yeah.
Is that the event that I saw you at?
Yeah.
They're having online qualifiers for that now?
Right now, yeah. This week.
When's the event?
September. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Hey, real fast. I believe Lee Pappas, his daughter was Callista Pappas. It was at the 2008 games that you shot.
No. Different.
You sure?
Different Pappas.
You sure?
I think Lee Pappas is Lee Pappas is he rides a motorcycle, he's tall, he's crazy good looking. I mean, literally he looks like he fell out of he looks like he could be James Bond, like a 6
Is it not in the family somewhere? I mean,
I don't think so. I think it's a different dude.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but NCC, the Northern California, the NorCal Championships. Yeah, that's the one.
Pappas Brethren CrossFit. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That was I think it's cool that they want to get together, but I want to see. He says that he's going to be doing some experimenting with the it's not licensing. What did he say?
Oh, this is a funny picture of Lee. Let me see if I can.
Being friends with
Who? What?
for a NorCal.
Sorry.
Like how they're joining up. How they're joining up. It's not like a license event, but they're.
Oh yeah. This is Lee Pappas. It's not who you're thinking, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. No, you're right.
Do you know him though?
I've seen him.
Okay, just around.
Yeah, I've had people that have come from Brethren.
Okay.
Down here.
Okay. Sorry. So it's the sister. This NorCal. This is the event we were talking about earlier. That's the Ben Alderman, Blair Morrison event. Okay.
Yeah.
I just can't believe they're having their qualifier already.
And the French Throwdown qualifier doesn't start yet. I think it's in April. So
and they haven't even had their qualifier.
No, it's later. I don't know what he's talking about.
Who? Oh, Dave.
Yeah, it's only the NorCal is on right now.
Okay. Yeah. Hannah Essen. That's cool hair. You look like you smoke weed. If you do, quit. No more weed for you. Yeah, I did NorCal Classic qualifiers last year, and it was kind of wild having them in January and not competing until September. So much changes in that amount of time. Yeah, you could go through fucking puberty.
Yeah, I have a couple athletes that are going to be doing it this week.
Okay, here we go.
Apply for an in-person community event. Check out their qualifiers and hit them up. All right, that's it. Week in review for January 14th, 2024. Leave any comments or thoughts in the comments.
What do you think this container is here under the table here? You see this? It looks like some sort of like bug spray container. I hope it's not. I hope he's not spraying poison there.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
And I'll try to address them next week.
Any final thoughts, Mr. Spin?
Nah, it was a little uneventful this time. I mean, I think it was interesting to hear what Dave had to say about the SEALs news and kind of his thoughts around that. But, we kind of come to expect something games related or something breaking, kind of that standpoint of from Dave. But it was good.
I'm sorry I judged you wrong, Hannah. I've never smoked weed in my life, she says. All right, fine. All right, good to go. Yeah, what did you no books either, Spin? Did you miss the book talk? No Bible talk. He's been reading the Bible and we didn't get any fucking Bible references.
He knew John wasn't available today, so he wanted to give a week off.
Mr. Bill.
I thought it was a mellow one for sure. Easy way for him to get out. I wonder how much emotion was dropped since he had to do that the second time, you know. If you forgot anything, if you just kind of want to put it up. But it was a big weekend this weekend with, you know, with Wodapalooza going on and all of us being around it. And I didn't hear anything anywhere else other than Wodapalooza stuff. So I could see it being a mellow one. Which, by the way, Spin, you fucking killed it, Sevan. I don't know how you're still awake, and everybody else, Hiller, everybody.
Yes,
Everyone was on fire this weekend. It was good.
Thanks for
fun.
getting all those interviews, Spin. Yeah, you carried the heavy load for all of us. He did say he's not programming the games alone. It's a team.
He dances on that, I think, all the time, because I think the appropriate comment would be that it's him and his team, and the team is going to be doing whatever. And I think that he's saying it right. I don't know.
I want him to take more credit. I want it to be like, I don't want, do you know how like we just, that lady who tweets for Joe Biden accidentally tweeted his shit on her account the other day. So now, I mean, it's not like we didn't know someone was tweeting for him, but now like we know, like, why can't he just say, yeah, I'm working on I program the games and I have great support for my team. That's like, I just want to know that he did it.
Because he has the team.
Yeah.
And that's not his role to program. So he needs to be involved. And I think it's good that he is involved. But what it does, being vague, is it allows him to be as involved or not as involved as he needs to be, wants to be.
You don't think it's like some like corporate shit where he has to soften his how much credit he takes so that everyone feels included and patted on the back?
I don't think it's a corporate setup where he's thinking that way, but I think that he definitely wants. I mean, I don't see him as a.
He's not taking credit for everything. He's not taking credit for everything, Danny. Quit being a pussy. He's not taking credit for everything. I just want to know.
He's setting up his crew. He's setting up his team right now. Is what I think he's doing.
I don't want to pay fucking the world's greatest photographer to come out and film me, and then his fucking assistant comes out holding the camera, and the photographer's like, point it there, point it there. No, I want that motherfucker, Annie Leibovitz, holding the fucking camera and pulling the fucking trigger.
I'll tell you what, as a programmer,
I'm saying he's being a good leader by not taking credit. I know what you're saying, you jackass. You fucking giant pussy. You go fucking 69 David Weed. Why undercut Boz? It's not undercutting Boz. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just saying, hey, are you doing the programming? Yeah, and I got a great team by me. Boz is amazing. It's his brand. It's his.
I think it would be very hard to not be involved as a programmer like that. Being how he's been,
yeah,
I think he's kind of maybe he's putting the reins on himself.
Yeah,
because otherwise he's going to be all in. I mean, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy too. Either I want to be doing it, or send me out because I don't really want to be like halfway doing it.
Yeah,
so maybe he's that way.
Dan Guerrero, nah, he's doing the right thing. You're being a fanboy. What's a poo seal? What is that?
I don't know.
How about when he called Jocko a pop seal? Put Jocko and David Goggins a pop seal. Jesus. I know, Bernie. I know he's telling it like it is. I don't give a shit. Lie to me.
Okay.
Lie to me.
I don't think he is telling it like it is. That's the thing.
Okay. Talk to me.
I think that he's protecting he's protecting his brand. He's protecting his group. He's protecting his crew.
Yeah.
The programming crew.
Yeah. Okay.
That way, if anything goes down, he can take the brunt of it instead of going like, yeah, you're right, boss fucked up. Or, we got this new guy in and I don't know what the heck he's doing. As the leader, he can protect his group. The group is doing it, but maybe it is all boss. But he's not saying who's doing anything. He's just saying, I'll be involved. That's all.
All right.
That's what I think.
That. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Somebody needs a nap. No, I'm just David and Dan have changed the landscape of the show, and I'm allowing them to curate their little corner, their little role. More to come on that. All right. Thanks, guys. Spin, thanks for coming on. Bill, thanks for coming on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tyson Bagent, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be blast. We're going to find out what an NFL quarterback does in the offseason. If you aren't going to be nice or you don't love the Chicago Bears, go fuck yourself and don't tune in tomorrow. Don't turn in tomorrow. Don't tune in tomorrow. By the way, episode 4 is amazing. If you are not a member yet, you're stoked because in 2 months you're going to get to see it. And if you are a member, you're even more stoked because it's fucking dope and it only gets better from here. All right. And we are going to show you all the Colton stuff, Ricky Mack and Jason Hopper and Down Pepper stuff before everyone else too. So I appreciate all your guys' support. Every single member matters. This has been a great run on memberships, and I really appreciate it. You're gonna change the landscape of what we can provide for you guys. All right, talk to you guys later. Oh!
Wow.
One more thing.
Wow.
So that was close, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was just the tip right there is what that was.
Yeah.
But, oh, wow.
Oh, hold on. How can I forget? By the way, if you want to know everything that happened at Wodapalooza and you want to see who gets credit for it, go to the barbell spin. He is sharing credit with everyone, tagging everyone, giving you everything that everyone needs. It's the fastest and most reliable place to get news in the space and the most complete. But also, if you would like to buy the shirt that Bill Grundler is wearing and be a part of the OG culture, don't forget OG culture. It's the OG culture. And you go there and it'll populate and there's 4 pages of great shit. But you can't have this. Oh yeah, the socks are dope too. Am I wearing the socks too? No, not today. I wore them last night. But I don't think you can get this. Look at this OG coin I got.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
All
That
right.
was for you specifically.
Thank you. Specifically. All right.
Specifically.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.